Hello everybody, this is Ken Watson, and today I'm recording this video from a hotel room in South Philadelphia on my laptop. So first I want to apologize for the quality. I know that it is not what I typically post, but with the limitations of me being on business travel, this is what I have to deal with. So today I am recording this from South Philadelphia. I'm about 15 minutes from the city's center. Now this is a recent picture of City Hall that I took while touring downtown. Now, if you were to venture to the courtyard within the building, and you would see, and you can actually walk on a compass rose that marks the center of the city. Now, the original compass, as seen in this archive photo courtesy of Temple University, was inaccurate as the axis does not represent true north as it points. Now, one could argue today, based on the growth of the city since its creation, that the compass no longer represents the center of the city. But people choose to believe it despite any inaccuracies that may or may not exist. The same applies to a fundamental argument between William Jennings Bryan and Clarence Darrow, prominent figure in the ACLU and lawyer who defended John Scopes during the Scopes monkey trial. While the focus of the trial was the legality of teaching evolution in schools, an underlying attack of the inerrancy of the Bible existed, and it continues today. Now, I found two articles that were interesting and bring interesting points to the discussion of the inerrancy of the Bible. The first affirms a portion of the PBS video that we watched last week, A New Light, which I had particular interest in as it was a question that I often considered myself for years. The New York Times article, Scopes Trial Ends Abruptly, but Evolution Fight Rages in Statement, was published on July 22, 1925, and mentions the debate where Darrow asked Bryan whether he views the day during the creation in the book of Genesis literally as a 24-hour day. In this article, Darrow states, quote, "We have a perfect right to offer his evidence as to whether the Bible in all cases should be literally interpreted. However, he did say he believed the literal days of creation mentioned in the first book of Genesis were probably not literal days," unquote. Now, this is one of the arguable errors noted by many modernists who question aspects of the Bible, and Darrow seemingly defended the modernist view by having Bryan admit his own belief, despite being a fundamentalist and having the belief of the literal meaning of the Bible. Now, the second article I found interesting was a recently written article from the New York Times titled, Beliefs, a Symposium 70 Years After the Scopes Trial Shows the Debate Has Evolved Little, by Peter Stanfels. Now, Stanfels shares a thesis given at the symposium where he states, quote, "The discussion suggested that society has not come very far from the issues raised at the Scopes trial, the place of evolution and creationism in the classroom, the lines between church and state, the professional responsibility of educators, and the democratic rights of parents in devising curriculum, and much more," unquote. And I do believe he's right to a point. While we don't see battles in courts, or at least on the scale of the Scopes trial, we see heavy debate amongst modernist scientists and scholars and creationists, including creation scientists, who claim that scientific evidence exists to prove what they call the flood theory. Scientists such as from the Institute of Creation Research, they argue that geologic evidence exists that proves a catastrophic event took place, i.e. the Great Flood, that evolution scientists don't account for when determining the age of fossils, and that if they were to do so, they would determine that fossils are significantly younger than they would currently theorize, and that it would line up with the biblical timeline. Along with that, we see evolution taught in classrooms where creationism is typically avoided in public school curriculums. As a Christian, my only argument against modernism as it pertains to evolution versus creationism is not that evolution exists or not. It lies in the idea that creationism is intentionally removed from many state curriculums, while evolution is taught as if it were scientific law when it's just a theory. While some states allow both to be taught, many don't. One could argue against Steinfel's claim and that society has indeed come too far with the issues raised at the Scopes trial, and that Bryan's worries about evolution's evolution were justified. This argument will continue to be debated amongst modernists and fundamentalists for years to come. And with the growing trend toward postmodernism, it becomes increasingly important for Christians to take a stand for the teaching of creationism along with other beliefs. Thank you for watching this video. I do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed everything. God bless.